Welcome to the DevOps Landscape walkthrough. Let's directly jump into the landscape and go through the different dimensions of DevOps. We will start with benefits and measurement. At first glance, starting at the finish line might seem confusing. However, since the purpose of DevOps is to achieve particular outcomes which bring business value, we must first clearly define these desired outcomes and only then use DevOps to achieve it. So Agile and DevOps are only a means to an end and not the goal itself. At Deloitte, we use the business agility model better value, safer, sooner, happier to define structured outcomes. Better means increasing the quality of products and services. For example, reducing outages in production environments. Value means doing the right thing. We can be super efficient but work on something that does not create customer value. Sooner means improving delivery speed, for example, reducing lead times or increasing the deployment frequency. Safer means making services more secure and robust while reducing risks. And happier means to increase in satisfaction for both customers and employees. So in summary, DevOps supports the creation of delivery of IT services to achieve better value, sooner, safer, happier. DevOps promotes a measure everything mindset. Therefore, outcomes should be measured so that we can make sure we reached our desired outcomes. As an example, DevOps outcomes can be measured with metrics like deployment frequency or change failure rate. Moving on to culture. You may be aware of the saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast. We could even go one step further and say that culture eats strategy, processes, architecture, and tooling for breakfast. Culture is an important aspect of DevOps that is often underestimated. Technology leadership naturally tends to focus on technology and tooling while neglecting the culture within a company. Culture refers to attitudes, values, and beliefs. It influences decision-making and behavior. In other words, it reflects the DNA of an organization and has a direct link to ways of working within an organization. Therefore, trying to transform the ways of working while only focusing on tooling does not bring the desired outcomes. Culture, mindsets, and especially leadership behavior must be taken into consideration. Focus on establishing a blameless culture with psychological safety allows teams to experiment within certain boundaries in order to improve their products and services. Next, people. Leadership behavior will make or break your transformation to new ways of working. Even if you have all the structures, processes, and tools in place, but leadership is unwilling to change their own behavior to champion the new ways of working, your transformation efforts will be in vain. If DevOps product teams are to work in an autonomous way, leaders need to shift away from a command and control mindset towards an intent-based leadership mindset. They should empower teams to act autonomously instead of controlling them while ensuring inter-team alignment. In summary, we want high autonomy and high alignment. Let's move on to organizational changes. There is a clear trend towards organizing people in cross-functional autonomous product teams. Contrary to the project-based world, product teams are longer lasting and follow a product roadmap. These teams are organized along value streams of the organization with the goal to build, run, and own their services in an independent fashion, allowing them to quickly adapt to changing customer needs. DevOps promotes to bring work to people instead of bringing people to work. The notion of you build it and you run it is certainly not practical for all larger enterprises, but it's still worth discussing strategies on how to integrate operational resources into product teams. Note that you can build your value stream organization virtually at first. This way, you avoid changing your org structure multiple times if value streams and products change over time. Moving to the center of the landscape. The conveyor belt symbolizes a continuous flow of value. Optimizing flow is a core principle of DevOps. Work is broken down into small batch sizes and visualized in Kanban boards. This enables setting limits on work in progress, which further increases flow. The goal is to reduce handoffs between silo teams and eradicate waiting time where no value is generated. Flow goes hand in hand with automation. Following the automate everything mindset, DevOps suggests that repetitive tasks are automated as much as possible to make them more robust and less error-prone. Google's site reliability engineering, for example, promotes the elimination of toil, whereas toil is defined as manual, automatable, repetitive tasks. Another key aspect is test automation, whereby a test suite is automatically triggered and run as part of an integrated build process. Let's discuss the quality theme next. The goal is to build quality directly into the software delivery processes, so-called built-in quality. One way to achieve this is establishing mandatory peer reviews on code commit and run code scanning tools as part of your continuous integration process. Next, architecture. Optimizing your architecture to support DevOps ways of working is key. Product teams need to be empowered to work autonomously. They build and release their services independently with as few dependencies on other teams as possible. This enables continuous flow of value in small batch sizes. The anti-pattern is large Big Bang releases, introducing many changes from several teams to the production systems. In this case, the impact of a change is hard to understand and therefore bears high risk. Therefore, you should architect your IT landscape in a loosely coupled way. Microservices with container architecture are one way to decouple services to enable product teams to release on demand. API management solutions then enable microservices to communicate with each other as part of a service mesh. Moving on to DevSecOps. The Sec in DevSecOps stands for security. We should not forget about security when applying DevOps. Security needs to be embedded in the software development lifecycle, similarly to the built-in quality theme. Traditionally, organizations went through a security review and sign-off process shortly before go-live, just to find out that they need to change the underlying architecture. Shifting left of security strives for integration of security resources into the product teams in order to apply a security by design approach. Another aspect is securing automated pipelines. The more software can be pushed out into production environments automatically, the more you need to pay attention to securing your CI/CD pipelines. Now let's discuss resilience. When deploying to production several times per week, day, or even hour, the ability to roll back is crucial. Therefore, recoverability is an important aspect of DevOps, and services need to be designed in a robust way that they survive outages of single components. A more mature approach to ensuring resilience is chaos engineering, which originally comes from Netflix. The chaos monkey is a process that randomly terminates software or infrastructure components in production environment. This forces product teams to design their services robustly from the start. Like architecture, technology and infrastructure are enablers for implementing DevOps ways of working. Ordering necessary resources like environments in a self-serve manner supports the autonomy of product teams. Otherwise, central infrastructure teams will quickly become bottlenecks for decentralized product teams. Cloud, for example, enables product teams to self-serve provisioning of elastic computing resources. Finally, looking at obstacles. Today, many companies try to change their ways of working. It's not an easy thing to do. There are several obstacles along the journey. Start your transformation journey with defining your desired outcomes along better, value, sooner, safer, and happier dimensions. The hardest thing to change is individual values along with the corresponding behavior. Generally, we advise an approach of think big, start small, and learn fast. Think big means creating your high-level blueprint first. Start small with a minimal viable design to pilot your improvements and show quick wins to create momentum. Finally, learn fast from your pilot and then adapt and scale your model. DevOps transformation is not a one-off, but a start into a journey of continuous learning and improvement. Hopefully we were able to show you the different dimensions of DevOps. The landscape is available on our Deloitte website for download. If you need any support in transforming your ways of working, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.